Hi, it's Nicole from Truth of You, and I'm here with the first podcast tutorial. I'm excited because I think you're all special in your own right, and I can't wait to share your podcast with other people and have you on my podcast too. So here's some top tips I can give you in advance of fancy things like how to create a great backdrop, how to light your set, how to put makeup on, how to do hair, wear appropriate clothing and wardrobe, etc. The first thing you have to do is really nail down, hone in on what your message is. Just like anything else you do, writing a book proposal, speaking at TED Talks, you need to get your big what. And I'm making these markers so that you can find this place in the video in the future. Your big idea has to coincide with who you are and what you do. So I love the advice and guidance that Kelly and Reed gave us, where they asked, what do people ask you day after day after day? What are they looking for? What do they want? And that should somewhere bring you into the realm of maybe 5 or 6 topics. But out of this idea that you have, you want to nail down this thought. I know what my idea is. I want to bring this to the world. Maybe it's a podcast about relationships and you want to talk about relationships. In that discovery, you're going to also create your title as well as your introduction. And your introduction should seem to be a fluid thing. I said, hello, it's Nicole from Truth of You, and I'm here with a first podcast tutorial. In that event, when you find your own title and you're able to let it roll off your tongue and feels comfortable, you should also find well within those ideas that you have in your topic, little snippets, I want to say, or hints about the topics you'll be covering in the future. So in essence, if you want to show about lifestyle, like I have, Truth of You Lifestyle, it's about relationships, it's about how to live your life in a healthy manner, it's about how to raise children and how to pursue your careers and goals as God would want you to. That's how I arranged my topics. Now, that being said, that gave me my intro as well as several other topics and ideas. The topics are going to revolve around your big idea, right? So the topics in and of themselves should reflect the things that you already know. I recently did sit in on another group that really didn't seem to have a topic, but had a lot of personalized experiences. You have to remember, as Reed and Kelly have pointed out to us in the past, no one wants to know your experience. They want to know how they feel about their own experience. So you always have to turn your questions around. If you can't nail down 5 questions that your clients always ask you, then think about what is very popular on the internet today, what keeps coming up, and then make a list of that in relation to your original idea and topics. Therefore, you will then have a plethora of ideas, right? What I had done was I took a big whiteboard and I put down several topics at one time, and I wrote underneath each topic where we could go with it. Then, after I wrote down all those topics and had great ideas about those, and I did that for a few months in a marketing calendar, and now it's become more of a podcast calendar for the future. It's going to happen next year, starting in January. Then after that, I actively started to align myself with other professionals that are good at that topic, really good at one thing. So for instance, my podcast went from all mind, body, soul to now lifestyle for mind, body, and soul. So now lifestyle includes a bigger, broader range. So I'm looking into people who I know are very good chefs, very good at decorating, very good at raising kids. All of those things are going to come into the picture in the future as I start to align with them. Then, after I've had a few conversations with them, or just even one conversation, I am going to create a list of questions for that podcast guest, right? And those questions, again, should revolve around the things that your audience wants to hear. They need this information. They want it. Not only do they want and need this information, they want it from you and that professional. So you have to make that a very obvious point that this is a professional. They know what they're talking about. They've worked in their industry for several thousands of years, whatever you want to call, 10 years, 20 years. I'm up to, I think, 38 years in my profession. You want to get a seasoned professional, not someone who has a lot of like good ideas and experiences and they go on and on. This is the other part of the questions. You're going to have to name several thoughts and ideas within the questions you have for your podcast guest, and then limit them to 1 or 2 sentences. The activity that happens in a podcast that's exciting is when there's a banter between 2 people, not one person droning on and on and on and on about the same topic over and over and over again. We want someone who has experienced a variety of experiences and then can encapsulate it into 1 or 2 quick, tight sentences called sound bites. Those are the sound bites that people's ears are already attuned to. We, in our culture today, have very, very, very short attention spans. So if you put up markers, like I'm doing right now, you'll be able to not only draw people in the first minute, but in the minutes after if they're looking for specific information about that topic. When you do that, you're not only telling them that I'm prepared, I'm a professional, and I can provide you what you want, but I'm also thinking like you are. I will give you what you want more than what I want or what my guest thinks is important to the talk that we're having. The other piece of this is that it is true. You want to have every podcast offer your audience something for free. Just like Reed and Kelly said, offer it for free. I am noted for, and I have had a lot of interviews myself, or I've been interviewed on other podcasts where I've given away 10 free sessions, 10 free soul sessions, and then I have a free Christmas meditation. You all are invited to take advantage of it too. And I should have put a little poster here, right here. Free Christmas meditation, yay! For peace at the holidays, and that's on truthofyou.org. The other thing is, to keep them, not only do you want your answers from your guests to be tight, concise little sound bites, but you also want them to shine. You don't want to seem like the host that wants to control everything and take over the podcast. So you want to make sure they do shine and have readily available 6 or 7 compliments. Oh, I love when you do this. Oh, this is awesome. What a fantastic idea. I can't wait to get started. Something like that. Keep it rolling, because that's what people enjoy. They don't like a lot of bad news or judgment or criticism. So you want to be able to uplift them, give them all the information they need, and do it shiningly. The last point I'm going to bring up is your summation. And to that point, when we are thinking in sound bites, you also have to think about a sound bite summation. Thanks so much. I hope you've all enjoyed the show. See you next week, or whatever your summation will be. Try to think of a few off the top of your head that will seem to flow out of your mouth every single time. What a great guest. Thank you, Roy, for joining us today, and then flow it out from there. Now, when we do these things, what we're showing, again, is our level of professionalism, that we're not going to waste people's time. We have valuable information. They're going to feel good about it at the end of the entire interview, and you're going to be seen as the professional that you truly are. That's the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comment below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy, and I'll see you next week. Bye.